Hello and welcome. I'm going to show you today some things you can do with scraps, paint, stamps and Nuvo Embellishment Mousse. Actually, I didn't want to translate my video, which I was originally shot in German, because I thought that the automatic translation would do it. But when I looked at the translation and I was very shocked. Sometimes that makes absolutely no sense. It's a lot of extra work for me to provide everything with a voiceover in English, but for my dear crafters who speak English, I'll be happy to do it. And of course, if my time will allow it to translate everything. Yeah, if there is in the future perhaps a video which is only in German, please forgive me. Sometimes it is only the time. So now back to the topic. Scraps. What do I do with it? I often have such scraps leftovers, and I like to use this thicker paper for my junk journals and also for my cards or die cuts. And I show you now how I use my stamping buddy and this stamp from Stamperia. And this foil, it is a laminating foil. You use it in your laminator. And inside is a paper, and I fussy cut it from this template. And yeah, later on I use my laminator, and now I have a protection sheet for my stamping buddy, and I can do a lot of things with it. Perhaps you can also see other videos and I show you how I use my stamping buddy and how I will create things on my foil. Here I show you that I had to fussy cut a little corner because there's also a corner on the stamping buddy, and the paper should fit into my stamping buddy, of course. But this is only something I extra told you, and it has not really something to do with the things I want to show you now. Yeah, and now I will use my magnets and I hold my paper in place. Actually, you would pick up the stamp with the left side of the stamping buddy and then stamp it. But today I don't want perfect stamps. I now only use my stamping buddy as a base for my stamping. We want to do something mixed media like, and today we don't have to be perfect. I use Nuvo ink. It is a hybrid ink, and the ink is hybrid because you can use it with watercolor and also with alcohol inks or alcohol markers. I now use my stamp and I use it more than one time, and I have the first and second and third generation and go on my paper from different sides. And this is now the result, and it looks really like mixed media. I have loads of these scraps and I've already prepared something with my punches, and I already prepared a small collection with the stamp. I used always the brown color from the Nuvo ink, and here you can see how many things I prepared. This ink, the brown ink, comes from this set by Nuvo. I also only have these three colors from the Nuvo hybrid inks. I bought this set a long time ago and tried it out. However, I think I rarely use it. That's why I got it now out and use it for this project. Otherwise, I probably would have stamped with Stays On, Archival or VersaFine. But then I only had VersaFine, Archival, Stays On, and so on in black, and I really wanted to use a brown ink, a brown color. Yeah, often it is worthwhile to look in your drawers and find the inks and use it. If you are interested, I will show you which set the used stamp came from. This is a stamp that I use very often. It's great for mixed media stuff. It comes from the Cosmos series by Stamperia. I want to continue now, and I'm going to get my magnetic board out and place these small papers on it. I'm really excited about the magnets. They are really strong. By the way, I bought the set from Action. And now I'm going to start with Distress Oxide, and I will look now for a color which I can use for my brown ink. I think I will use this one. I like this color very much. It is not so dark and it adapts very well the subject. I'm going through all the papers now. I want to use the scraps in an album, and so I find it important to stick to one color scheme. I love to have some harmony in my junk journal. I would mind adding a pink paper to the brown papers. That's why I'm sticking with these colors now and coloring through all the scraps. At the moment, I don't have a specific junk journal in my mind to decorate these scraps for. You can do something like this when you want to relax. You don't have to think much and can let your creativity run free. The only important thing for me is not to create two different colors or creations, because later I won't be able to do anything else with them. Brown always goes well with a vintage style and can sometimes work also well as a contrast. But I really like having a specific theme, and I try to reflect that with the colors. In my eyes, it is very pleasant to have a small supply, because sometimes these many little things are very time consuming if you want to make them individually. So you are now in a flow and can do one thing after the other. Later on, you will be happy to be able to draw from the full. It's always nice to have a small supply. However, you should really have time and fun to do so. It's not expensive paper, but I didn't want to throw it away and enjoy it now, using it because of the good quality and strength. Today I allowed myself this fun. I just needed this time to let my thoughts wander. It's very relaxing, and afterwards you are amazed at the treasures you have won. Now I'll stop talking and you can watch my crafting a little bit, and I hope you enjoy it. it is time for Vintage Photo Distress ink. And now I use a different brush because I try to avoid to use my black brush for distress ink. I only use it with distress oxides and the white one with distress inks, simple inks, yeah. First of all, I want to clean my magnetic plate, and when I will use my paper on my plate and use my Vintage Photo. Now my paper has a complete different look because I used vintage photo on my edges as a frame, and yeah, I have now my Distress Oxide brush and I still have some left over of my inks and I can use it also. Now I'm ready with my inking and coloring, and I use this stencil from John Next Door, and I use especially this stencil very often for mixed media things. The stencil is so useful because we have different pattern, and I use now this one for my paper, and I use also my Nuvo Embellishment Mousse, and I have a little baby wipe inside, and I always put a little bit water on it because I want to have a consistency, a creamy consistency. In the past I had problems with my Nuvo Embellishment Mousse because it dries very fast. Unfortunately, I have several small pots that have dried up on me even though I closed the lid very well. However, since I've added a damp baby wipe, it doesn't dry out as quickly. It's supposed to be used up quickly, but that's sometimes better said than done. The Nuvo Embellishment Mousse makes a big difference to my papers, and I use it only in a little space, not on the whole paper. Now my little pieces are ready and dry. This is a DIN A4 paper and I will fold it in half. And now you have a DIN A5 paper. This is normally the situation when you have a junk journal. And now you can see my little embellishment, how you can put it on your page. And I think it is a nice embellishment. You have now little pockets and you have a left side one or right side one, and you have also a tag or something you can put inside your pocket. I present you now different possibilities how I can use my little pockets. Of course, my big album is now finished, it is ready, but I show you now, perhaps you can now better imagine how you can put things like these inside a journal. And I think I will find a place, white space. Here is white paper, and yeah, it would really fit perfectly in this journal, but I don't want to use it now inside this journal. I will use it later on in something else. This page is not really white. I used a very light Nuvo Embellishment Mousse on it, and I want to draw or paint something on it, or can I write something inside, but I don't want to use it now for these special embellishments. But it would be possible, and also on this page I could use my brown things. It is a little bit blue one of the page, but blue and also, I mean, especially turquoise colors really fit well to brown colors. If you want to know more about this special steampunk journal, you can watch how I made it on my YouTube channel. Please look into my playlist and you will find mixed media and album, and where you can find a flip through and also different videos for this album. Yeah, this is now my little treasure. I have several nice pieces and I will use it for another project. For now I'm ready, I'm finished. I hope you enjoyed my little video, and yeah, perhaps you will have some inspiration for your own scraps. I hope to see you soon again on my channel, and perhaps you can like or subscribe to my channel. That would be very, very kind of you. Yes, and now I want to wish you a wonderful day. Be happy and be creative, and bye for now.